What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Aoshi, and today's video, well, I want to talk about Mecha Break. Now, before I get into the meat of things, I want to be very clear. I'm going to be looking at this from the perspective of my impressions going from the previous playtest, the beta that they had before, into what we're going into right now, which is the actual launch. Mainly because, for one, this is a free-to-play game. Granted, you could argue that it's a game that's been released, so why not review it? The reason for me is that, yes, it is out. It is going to be evolving, and I know some people are very strong about this game. And it's not because I don't feel like I can't have my own impressions on it, my own opinion, but I feel like there are certain things that I would say kind of go in both directions. And that's why I feel like if you look at the headline of the title, I have mixed feelings about this. So it will remain that way because, you know, the game will probably be evolving and this is a brand new IP. No sort of, I would say it's trying to get its footing. I wouldn't say there is no basis for it yet. They're definitely getting their footing. They pulled out a lot of different stops, bringing Hiroyuki Sawano onto the soundtrack, at least to kind of up the marketing. You got other different things factoring into the design. I think there's two notable Gundam artists out there that did the mechanical designs on there. My memory is a little spotty, so I apologize for not being spot on every single minute. This is just me trying to do this while I have the memory fresh in my mind, because if I don't, I'm going to totally forget about it, and I feel like I'm going to do a disservice to myself and for people that might be genuinely interested in this. So let's get into this, because at its core, Mecha Break is a hero shooter at its core. The only difference being is your heroes are different types of strikers, as they're called, different capabilities, different abilities, different fighting styles. So if you like something that has deep nuances with not just, oh yeah, I'm just using a ranged weapon or a melee weapon, there are different techniques to not only learn but to fully master. And you know, this is very nuanced in that. So they did say at launch, as we're in here, we have 12 different strikers we can choose from. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Not saying that because I don't trust them. It's for you guys that are watching this that have no idea what Mecha Break is about. And like I said, genuinely curious to see if it's something that is up your alley. Now, of course, they did have some other suits that are available, or strikers. Got Solaris that they teased, that they know. I feel like they knew that this was going to be very exciting because it's a twin sword, melee, light striker. Kind of in the sense of, I wouldn't say at least this is medium, but kind of akin to, I want to say Panther, but Panther's a little more heavier, but this one's very nimble. Inferno that we saw during the previous beta that literally was locked behind a big grind, so I mean, you had to be playing this fairly non-stop. And then you have their support, so you have somebody melee, somebody ranged, and then you got a support as far as unlockable suits go. Now, of course, one of the things that kind of threw me off is immediately when I logged in, obviously not this time around, they had a bunch of stuff going about their new ace recruitment, which is basically a special skin that they have. Now, of course, this is a, I want to say, was it $40 skin, $50 skin? As I'm recording this, $50 skin, there you go. So you get pilot suit stuff related on there, which is really neat, and then a special Falcon skin. And this is basically below $50 United States money. So it might be a lot different than where you are based in. But yeah, $50 is it's a high quality skin, but at the same time, you kind of have to ask yourself, to be fair, is it, you know, something that you can really part ways with when it pretty much costs as much as another game, essentially. Now, of course, I can't be one to talk because I've been doing a lot of, as some people might say, investing and whatnot into Gundam Battle Operation 2, which is what I'm normally from. But it does make you think really quick, right? Granted, it's cosmetics. It doesn't offer any type of advantages in gameplay because, well, I'll get into that in a second. There are no mods or features that affect the main game mode and the 3v3 versus mode that they have, which is Ace Pilot mode. Okay, so that's pretty cool in that sense, but at the same time, it's you know, $13 for their seasonal pass, which I believe might be just for this one here. I don't know. There are no indications as to if this is going to be per month, if they're going to be doing a season pass per month, per Power Mary period. I may have missed that in the VODs. I've been busy with doing other stuff, so I apologize for not doing my due diligence there, and I'm hoping somebody can fill in the blanks there. But if the regular person who's new to this altogether, that hasn't been following this, you know, deeply and to a T, how are they going to find this information? And with the level of stuff here, right, it's very frustrating to find certain things. Now, of course, if you get the season pass, they do give you, I think if I read that correctly, Inferno. It unlocks it basically for free. You can do a 7-day trial with these suits, which is pretty neat. I think it's without having to purchase it. I may be tangenting a lot, so I apologize for kind of being a little sporadic. I'm just kind of trying to just start talking about it because I'm just gonna lose it. But like this right here, I kind of already knew that this was gonna be kind of a not necessarily an issue, but during the playtest, we were dealing with the cargo rocket, or basically the equivalent to a secure container in most extraction shooters, like if you play Tarkov or Brazen Warfare. And basically, we were testing the Matrix contract version of that, which is basically this one here. I just remember it's a very distinctive shape, which gives you so much more space to send off to your inventory should you happen to fail to extract, which, you know, that's pretty important, right? If you're playing an extraction shooter, you want to make sure you want to cut your losses as minimum as possible. Even the basic one is only 400 merit points. Now these are mission tokens, excuse me, merit points. I'm used to comparing them to what I think they used to be called. Now, grinding them it's kind of a mixed thing again, because if you play the regular mode, the regular 6v6 mode, even when you lose, you still get a certain amount. Obviously, you want to win because you get more. I don't know exactly if there's a fixed amount, other than based on, like, say, obviously, if you make MVP, you get a win, you do certain things, obviously. I still feel like the amounts are kind of still on the lower side from what I've seen. Even more so, the biggest thing that I think, well, I wouldn't say it's big, but I think it's something to notice about is, say you don't care about playing their version of a rated match. You don't care about getting to champion or any other subsequent spot ever, and you want to just enjoy the game for what it is. Well, you want to play casually, there is a casual mode, but you don't get anything for it. Other than maybe you could say you get your own self-experience on that. So meaning, if you want to play casually, it does not impact achievement, which is this green little button right here. Achievement points, tier points. If you have a season pass, I'm assuming, mission progress, or mission tokens. And then let me go a little bit further, because say you go to your hangar bay and maybe you want to color stuff, right? I go into here, say I want to color something. Everything is locked through mission points, meaning you have to either play mechabreak, ace pilot, or the main Operation Verge mode to progress. So I'm not being testy about it, but I would have to say, why bother even having a casual mode to begin with if we can't unlock stuff? But to me, that's just a myriad of different things. Like, the game, there's no doubt, it's a very beautiful game. There's very talented people behind it. You can see it in the mech designs. You can see it in the environments that are in Mecha Break, as well as they even went out of their way just for all of us mech fans out there to actually walk around in the Shadows base. Now, of course, the big issue, well, I won't say a big issue, excuse me. The problem I have with this so far is if we have something like this, granted, we could take a lot about our own photos and everything too, that's cool. But why couldn't we like share this environment with other pilots? Or maybe in our clan. They have a clan system, I think. The reason why I say I think, because you go into here, not Ace Conquest, excuse me. You go into this. I happen to join one through an invitation code, and just so you guys can see that, you know, our friend Red Wolf Vion is playing, and he's been playing quite a lot. But to finally try to figure all this other stuff, there is a lot of different layers that feel ultimately complicated, needlessly complicated. So you got this to, you know, basically play basically rated or mashback or anything, and you get these unlocks there. You get custom paint jobs too, which, you know, are all these unique red paint jobs. In our case here, I think they have whoever starts this, you have a choice of purple and green if you like the Joker, red and black, and then there's this like green and like yellow or orange. So it's just like they're unique, but they're also locked to the initial 12 too. So it's like, I guess you could say that they're founder colors, maybe. I don't know what you want to call it, but I would, like I said, it's not a gripe. It's just things that I noticed that I feel like it's ultimately kind of, why is it there? Why is it extra complicated? And then you got this here, which is pretty cool. You're basically competing against Chris, the, I guess, lead dev. I'm totally forgetting my titles here, but he's been on all out of the trailers and everything, and he does play a little bit, so you can kind of unlock different cosmetics and everything, which is cool. Like I said, it's not necessarily a bad thing for other things that we've seen, until you get into like things like the UI, the way that the game is fundamentally structured, things with mashback, like currency. The currency is like needlessly like weird. And then like we have 4 different currencies. We have this one for metal slots, insignia slots, striker design, pilot customization, and this one's here for, you know, all sorts of different things, including paints. I'm just like, man, this is crazy. Yeah, so you can switch out your little frame here. Sorry, not your frame, but like titles here, different aspects, and they all take achievement points. So I'm like, eek. Like, it's cool, but it's like, at the same time, I'm like, why? Like, it's cool, but it feels like it's needlessly complicated. And then, like, Cordite is your real world money stuff. So, like I said, I'm not opposed to microtransactions necessarily because of, well, GBO2. And, like, that thing might be even worse when you compare it to this because it's gacha, right? At least with this, you know what you're getting. At the same time, I feel like it's so up in your face, though, in the case of Mecha Break, that everything's nickel and dimed. And it's just kind of like, it kind of gets a little tiring to see. And it's just like, oh man, I don't know. Like I said, this is just my thought process. I apologize if I'm being sporadic with my stuff, with my explanations, but it's just like you don't even get XP off of that either, as far as casual stuff. So would I recommend trying it? Well, because it's free to play, sure, absolutely. If it's something that you want to try to discover for yourself, you feel like you're a big mech fan and you feel like this is something that might be good for you, try it out. Just be wary of all the different transactions that they have, and for some people it might be in your face. But I would say if you can kind of weather the storm and give it a honest go, you never know, this might be your next best mecha game, considering the other stuff that's out there on the market. This is definitely a lot faster paced, a little more arcadey. I wouldn't say it's I would say it feels like more like Gundam Versus in a way, because you are dealing with so much verticality and other objects on the screen, a lot of terrain as well. So actually, if anything, it's like Gundam Versus, but a lot more nuance with the level of actual terrain that you kind of have to hide behind, urban environments. One thing actually that just reminded me too, we actually got a new set of maps too. So one of the biggest things, excuse me, wrong tab there. We only had 5 maps, 5 modes, 5 maps. Of course, I can't scroll off the side there. There we go. I'm being unable to do this. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more sets of maps too on top of that. So that's basically a good thing. I would say, coming from the beta to this right now, having another set of maps to go along with the initial 5 definitely helps out a lot. Why? Because the biggest thing that I would say disliked the most, and that kind of really fatigued me playing, is getting this is my favorite map, but when you get it like 3 times in a row, man, does it get like really tiring. Or you know, team deathmatch here. This one's the extraction one where you have to like hit all the drill things to disable them. This one's domination right here, and then this one's the you know, take the key to the one place. Basically, it's like a one-way capture the flag. I don't have a problem with the modes. I have a problem with, or had a problem with, the level of maps that they had at the time. And I would say, if you like different environments, especially with them trying to establish a lore, a story, world building aspects along with this, that is definitely always a plus. But like I said, a lot of the other things that I've kind of just mentioned about, and probably tangent all over the place, it just kind of made me not want to play this. So, but I would say that's just me. Again, I want to reiterate, if you guys like the art style, you like what you see, you know, like the appeal of the fact that it's free to just try it out and play, and maybe you might get hooked, yeah, definitely check it out. But I would, like I said, warn you, just be wary that, you know, there's a lot of different things that are gonna cost you, if you don't mind grinding. Of course, they do have paid progression in the sense of cosmetics primarily, which and even then, this is all mashmax stuff. This is all randomized, and I don't know. Like I said, I have mixed opinions on it. Like, it's good in terms of the core gameplay, but once we get into like the mechanical systems that they have in place, it becomes I don't know, becomes less appealing. And that's kind of, you know, sounds kind of counterproductive and kind of almost an oxymoron, considering that I play GBO2 a lot. At the same time, like, GBO2 has a dedicated rated system, they have a casual system, and they have custom rooms just like Mecha Break does. Granted, they are not one and the same game, but regardless of the games, I can still get progression done. I can still get certain things done. So what they do from now until, you know, we'll say give it a month from now, maybe 2 months, hell, give it a year. We'll have to see what they do. Mashmac, from what I played, still kind of remains the same. I have not played enough to kind of garnish a full opinion on it, considering they have divided that into three different tiers of what you want to go. You got normal, hard, and extreme. Obviously, you get the most mods, the highest mods here at extreme. But because of the nickel and diming, it's kind of like, well, unless I'm playing with other people, this is not something I kind of want to play by myself necessarily. Sure, you can go solo, or you can go with 2 other buddies, but I don't know. We'll have to just wait and see. Like, this is already telling me, hey, you could have got more if you had the season pass. Just saying. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But like I said, that's just my general impression so far, as sporadic it is. If you made it to the end of this, I appreciate you guys giving it a listen. And I don't know. Like I said, we'll see from here. But I'm gonna have to like step away from this for now, just because it's just not my vibe at the moment. But if they address a lot of different things that people have kind of mentioned, that I've seen, granted, I did unfortunately get a little spoiled with like the Steam reviews, and I obviously take them with a grain of salt, but some of the things that I did manage to filter out from just, you know, the babble, oh, this is a bad game, oh, because it's by Chinese developers, they don't know what they're doing. Not at all. Like I said, you can see the quality there. The visuals are great. It plays decently well, but it's just the way that they're fundamentally have things in place structurally, microtransactions, financially, all that stuff. I'm not opposed to Sportium. It's just the way it's just kind of everywhere and nickel and dimed. It's just kind of like, okay, I don't know. I don't know if this is something I want to commit to. But Burrow's Witch, thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and I will see you guys all on the next one. Take care.